this is just questions in regards of our guy Raheem. You know,
Oh,
so what do you feel like that he is? Where do you feel like that he is going to fit in the scheme of things? Do you think he's going to be traded? Do you think he's
yeah.
going to pay this man? Do you think that he is going to be, our back for 5 years? The only thing before you answer the question for me is that Kyle Shanahan has a way of creating running backs that
Yeah.
that no other. I mean, because I know that in Atlanta and in Washington, they had great backs at that time, but then as soon as he left, then they become like real average. So
Right.
I don't know about paying him. I like him a lot. So what are your thoughts on that?
Sure. Okay. Well, the way I look at it is, you're right. He does bring out the best in running backs normally, but there's never been a running back who's averaged 6 yards a carry for Shanahan the way Mostert has. So while he can make mediocre running backs better, no one's ever done as well as Mostert. And yes, I actually do think he's worth a $2.5 million raise. I mean, because he's being paid like a special teams guy. He should be paid like a running back, or at least as much as Tevin Coleman. But now it's time. Now you're asking me what I think will happen, not what should happen. That's always two different things. And here's where I get real cynical, because we're talking about the 49ers. So he requested a trade. Why would the 49ers trade him? Can you tell me why?
I don't feel leverage in that. I wouldn't trade him.
To make him happy,
No reason
right?
to. Yeah.
There's no reason to trade him. The only reason to trade him would be to make him happy.
Yeah.
And if they wanted to make him happy, they just give him the raise, right?
Absolutely.
So I don't think they care about making him happy. I think they look at this is business. Sorry, we got you for 2 more years. You can request a trade. We're not going to trade you because we need you.
Absolutely.
We're not going to pay you like we need you, but we know we need you. So forget the trade. And then what else can he do, guys? I mean, you tell me. He can hold out, right? You think he's going to hold out? Let me tell you something.
I don't think that leverage. We got too many backs to hold
Let me
out.
tell you something. Exactly. And the new CBA made it harder to hold out. It used to be $40,000 a day they fined you. Now it's $50,000. And it used to be that the teams could give back the fines at the end. Now they can't. Now you really have to pay that money. So if you're Jimmy Garoppolo and you have however many million in the bank, you can hold out. But how much money does Raheem Mostert have in the bank right now? Probably not enough to hold out for an entire training camp. So I think it's terrible, but I think he has zero leverage, and the Niners probably won't even ever acknowledge the trade request and just say, well, we'll see you at training camp, and then we'll see you on week 1 and week 2. And if you have another good season, maybe we'll talk about a raise after next year. That's just the way it works in the NFL. It's tough. I think he really deserves the raise, but won't get it.
And that's the tough part about the NFL. I think same. I think he has improved the Niners offensively, but this is a business. I tweeted this. This is the tough part about the NFL. Players need to know this going into the game.
Yeah. And one thing real quick about Mostert and why I say he's not a product of the system. The yards are great, and Shanahan creates that, but the touchdowns. This dude scored 15 touchdowns last year, and he wasn't a goal line back. I mean, they weren't trying to feed him touchdown carries. Like, he was scoring from 18, 25, 30, 40 yards out. He was creating his own touchdown opportunities. And I think that's a big reason why this offense was so highly ranked last year. He was scoring touchdowns. And historically, when you look at Shanahan's offenses, they always rack up a ton of yards, always. But points are different. That's a different ranking. And in 12 years of him being an offensive coordinator / head coach, one or the other, his offenses have only ranked top 16, top half of the league 4 times in points. So having a guy like Mostert who can convert those touches into touchdowns is real important, but they're not going to lose him.